We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network and on YouTube and, of course, Twitch. I'm your host, Bison, and today I'm joined by the one and only Joe-ker. And this week, feeling much better, the man simply known as Steve. All right, boys, how are we doing this week?
We're all good. How are you?
I am absolutely bloody hell.
Yeah.
Did I just see that right?
Yeah.
Courtney,
Yes,
are
you
you
did.
Very much,
crazy?
Courtney.
Wow. Thank you ever so much, Courtney, for that. That's amazing. Wow. I don't know what to say.
Well, we
She
know
just-
that.
We just got to say thank you. We just got to say
Yeah.
thank you. And just let us know any potential sound bites that you might like us to poach. I post. I know you love the sound bites. So just let us know. And Steve will bang a few of those up at the appropriate time. That's a lovely little New Year's present from Courtney. Bless you. Thank you, sweetheart. Really appreciate that. You totally knocked me off my stride. Anyway, fellas, so how's your week been?
Oh, very, very up and down. Highs and lows. Bit of a lump in the back of my mouth, which is causing a bit of pain, so it hurts a bit to talk. But apart from that, I'm all right.
Good. What about you, Steve, my friend?
Yeah. You know, we're slowly getting back to normal, and I think Hard to Kill definitely helped us back to normal. So can't complain here now.
No, definitely. Hard to Kill was fantastic. I'm glad you're feeling better, mate. We did miss you. We missed you, buddy. We missed you.
It was awesome.
It's nice to know.
Definitely. Look at this. We've got Mir, what's that? What does that mean? Courtney, Gates will all $50 super stickers. Thank you, Courtney. We do appreciate it. Lovely. Thank you. We do. Can I just say hello to Courtney again? Obviously, we've got Mir in the chat. I'm just wondering who else is actually joining us at the moment. So slowly building up. Don't forget to let us know you're there. Obviously, the Joker's in there. And, of course, simply Steve himself will be putting stuff in there as well. But Zach's turned up. Hey, look at that. Courtney got lunch covered. She definitely has. So it's fantastic. Well done.
The masked dog is here. Come here, Sammy.
Okay, yeah, Mass Dog is here as well. So we're all in the house. It's going to be great. Okay, guys, we've got so much to talk about with Hard to Kill. I do want to get some of these news and rumors out of the way as early as possible. So let's have a quick chat. Now, the first thing I've got on my list, we've got the New Japan Pro Wrestling's very own Jay White has been announced to be performing in Florida tapings. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is great. I think it's the right thing to do. Let people know that he's going to be there. Big name. Hopefully that will certainly help people. The ticket sales, etc. I think would be fantastic. So, awesome. Steve, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. It's great to see Jay White back in the Impact Zone. And like you said, announcing that he will be. You can go two ways. You can do what they've done at Slammiversary and leave it as a surprise, or you can go do what they've done now and announce it. And announcing it, a big name like Jay White, that's going to get ticket sales up, and it's going to create a bit of buzz as well because, you know who else might show up with Jay White.
Exactly. Let's announce that Jay's there, but there could be others as well. Couldn't there?
And I think as well, given what's happened with the Bullet Club since Bound for Glory, the Bullet Club needs a little bit of a lift.
I think you're right. What about you, Joe? Can I just welcome Donald into the chat for the first time, commenting? Nice to see you, bud. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, Joe, what are your thoughts on the Jay White situation?
Well, Steve has said what I need to say. The Bullet Club has been on a bit of a slump, and Jay White coming back is obviously going to give them a new direction, hopefully. And
Yeah.
they could even be the ones that end up taking on the guys from Ring of Honor who've come in. If you look at it now, we've got a possible four-man team possibly now. Could they be
that's
the ones,
true.
or could they be another spanner in the works? So there's a lot of twists and turns following on from the epic start of the year. It's just great to see Jay White getting announced, and like Steve said, having a name like that announced now is better than having someone just having it come out the blue, or doing a Tony Khan announcing it on the night that someone's coming in.
No, exactly. I think it's great. I think it's a good boost to let people know that Impact mean business. They're coming to Florida. They're doing some great promotion now. So you know, at the end of the day, the more promotion that they do, the better. I think it's great. Now,
baby.
You're right.
Right.
We've also had this week Tasha Steeles appearing on Busted Open Radio, telling the world Deanna is a fake Jersey girl, which I thought was quite amusing. We got Bully Ray giving it to Billy Big Beans. Obviously, Dave LaGreca was giving it some as well. So it was pretty fantastic. But there you go, Mir. So look what Mir's got to say. Look, just in case you don't know, already 9 days away. I'm finally going to be in the front row bill at the Fort Lauderdale, actually Pembroke Pines to be exact, tapings. So we are going to be looking out for you, my friend. We're going to be looking out for you on the TV, and if we see you, we're going to be giving you a shout out on the show. That's for sure. So absolutely fantastic. I think that they're starting the right way. You know, they really are coming out. They really are giving us some they're giving it good promotion. That they're doing the right things now. You know, they're letting people know where they're going to be early. We're going 2 weekly on the tapings. You know, they're letting people know who's going to be at the shows. You know, they're giving people a reason to buy tickets to come and see Impact Wrestling, which is great. So also talking about shocks from obviously this past week, we've got Mickie James has been announced to appear in the WWE Royal Rumble.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
I totally agree on that. At the end of the day, the fact that Mickie was announced as the Impact Knockouts World Champion, I think was a big plus. It was announced on SmackDown, I believe, just before Hard to Kill, which is fantastic. And of course, the WWE was mentioned several times, or the Royal Rumble was mentioned several times over the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, which is very, very interesting. I was completely blown away when I saw that. The WWE working with another promotion is just insane. But there you go. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
There's a couple of rumors about why this has happened. One of the more negative rumors is that the reason why Mickie James has been brought in is because the women's roster on the two main cards is about 24 superstars in total, 27 if you include the champions on each side or something like that. And they brought Mickie James in as a plus one. The way I see it is, it's Mickie James has brought Impact and NWA together. Mickie James is a former WWE superstar, and this is Mickie James basically pushing what women's wrestling can do in general, and pushing herself forward and showing that all the bad grapes and bad things that have happened with her in WWE in the past, it's water under the bridge, and it's time to put the negativity aside and let's see what happens when you actually do work together. So
I agree.
It's
interesting.
It's a one-off. I don't think it's just a working relationship like we were seeing with Impact and AEW or Impact and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think this is a one-off for Mickie James, but it's a hell of a one-off to have if it is just a one-off. So and all I can say is cheers to Vince and cheers to Stephanie McMahon for even agreeing to do this too.
It's interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Is it, for instance, WWE, using Impact as a way of saying, screw you, AEW. We're going to help. We're going to help one of your competitors. We're going to help one of the up and comers, kind of thing. I don't know.
Very interesting. Sort of 15 years ago, Impact, sort of TNA, were the ones that they didn't want to know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because they were the biggest rival.
Yeah.
But I mean, interesting what Courtney's just saying there. Is that we also found out yesterday that MLW is actually suing the WWE, which
Yeah.
is interesting for
I've shared that statement
aggressive.
on my Twitter if you guys want to see it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I mean, they're apparently actively going after the MLW roster members. It doesn't surprise me, and I'm sure this is the sort of stuff that's been going on for years. But obviously, MLW or Court Bauer's now sort of kind of saying enough's enough. I've had enough of it. But what's really weird is it was only a couple of months ago. It was only just before Christmas that there was a rumor that MLW were going to be working with the WWE. So weird, but there you go.
Yeah. Different talks go different ways, don't they?
It is very strange. It's very, very strange. But lots and lots going on. Sorry, Ray, we don't discuss spoilers on Impacted if you don't mind. Thank you ever so much. So it's interesting, really, that all of this stuff is sort of going on at the moment, because then all of a sudden, obviously, there was an announcement a couple of days prior to Hard to Kill that Matt Stryker was no longer going to be the play-by-play commentator. He'd been let go, etc. And then everyone was speculating. I mean, who's going to become the next play-by-play? Oh my God, I bet you it's going to be Josh Matthews, as the usual people say. But of course, it wasn't. We get ourselves, the day before, I think it was on the Friday before Hard to Kill, we get the announcement that Tom Hannafin, former Tom Phillips from the WWE, he was there for 10 years. I believe he started with the NXT, then moved into SmackDown, I believe, as a commentator on there. He was let go in one of the first set of releases, I believe, roughly about a year ago, is now obviously the new commentator on Impact Wrestling. And all I got to say is, if his first day on the job was Hard to Kill is anything to go by, we've got one hell of a play-by-play commentator added to D'Lo Brown. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
Turn that frown upside down, my man.
We've got. I never thought it was going to be Josh Matthews, because Impacts have been slowly moving forward with their commentary team. And when I say forward, I never thought Josh Matthews was bad. I think it's who he's partnered with. I don't think when he was with Don Callis, that partnership done him any favors. I think when he was with D'Lo, I think that partnership helped him. But Josh Matthews, I think, is he'll come in when needed. So I don't think he was ever going to go back full time. So I was never concerned it was going to be him. However, I think that Tom Hannaford, I was not aware of him. I knew his name, but I was not aware of anything he'd done. But for me, he's got a little bit of everything from every commentator we have. I don't know. Not many people seem to be aware of him, but I don't know if you'd remember of back in, I think it was the late 2012, early 2013, Todd Kennelly, when he joined with JB. He's got that kind of sound to him with a bit of Striker in him, I think, as well. I really like the chemistry of him and D'Lo have as well. I think that it's going to be very, very good going forward.
All I've got to say is that I thought him and D'Lo worked off each other really, really well. I don't think it was almost like they've been working together for a long time. It was I couldn't believe the upgrade. It just sounded better. I don't know whether they're using different microphones, because everything just sounded better. Full stop. And his voice is fantastic.
It felt like he'd been working in Impact for years, because he knew everything about everyone as he came in.
No, he did. He knew everybody. In fact, there was a couple of occasions where he said he remembered certain groups when they first came into the company and all these kind of things. I was gobsmacked. He was talking about Decay, from when they first appeared on TV and stuff, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So it just goes to show he watches the product. Or if he doesn't, he's done his homework. which is that's all you need to ask. I have to say, there's a lot of people talking about they should add Ian to the team as well from Ring of Honor. Now, I'm going to disagree with that one. I think if you're going to add another voice, I think it needs to be a female voice, and I'll tell you why. Because that would be different, right? Because we're all very much sort of kind of all for the knockouts and all this kind of stuff. We're pushing the knockouts. I think if you added someone like Vader Scott to the team that we have now with D'Lo and Tom, that would be incredible. So we go with a 3-man booth. We need 2 men and a woman. For me,
I thought Vader would have been an outside shout to actually get the lead.
Yes, so did I. Because it would have made the commentary different.
To me as well, it's going to be obviously the chemistry between the three. Do they have good chemistry? Because you can put any 3 people together, but it can be a mess or it can be amazing.
Yes, I agree. But I just feel if you're going to put a 3-person team together, you need a female. You need a female voice. That's what I'm saying.
Holding out on Vader for what we think the knockout show.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe. I still believe that's coming. And I have to say that if you watched the press pass prior to Hard to Kill, a couple of people asked the question, is there going to be one? And they didn't say no. And they all 3 of them said they thought it would be great if they did that.
This place rules.
Hell yeah, so good. So I can see it happening. I think it's going to be great. I love all these sound bites. We need loads of them tonight. Anyway, Dildo Brown, Vader, and Tom, I think would be fantastic.
I can't keep a straight face. Every time I'm looking at the chat, I keep seeing Dildo and not Dilo as well. So
yeah,
I know. What the hell Mark's done?
I think one of the other impressive things is we've got Mickey and Moose on a media tour in Florida, head of the TV tapings, turning up at basketball games and all sorts of stuff like that, with the logo being plastered, all over the screens. Again, they're certainly upping the marketing and the sales side of things. They're getting it out there. I think
in my ass.
It's right up my ass, that's for sure. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on the way they're marketing it at the moment?
It's a step up from what anyone expected they would do for 2022. Everyone was expecting it to be a bit more slower, and some people doubted they would even go any further, especially given how the pandemic has still affected a lot of things last year. But this year, it seemed that the second half of last year was let's get everything planned out and really, really push ahead with it next year. And that seems to be exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Sorry, Mira. Yes, it is. It was the hockey team. Do you know what? It's funny actually, because I looked at it. I thought, oh my god, they should have got. They should have got, if they were going to go to a hockey match. Was it? I don't know. I guess it was ice hockey. Possibly an ice hockey match. If they're going to go and do ice hockey match, they should have took EY, who's the biggest ice hockey fan in the world. But there you go. So, but it's fantastic to see that happening. They're obviously getting more and more involved. They're going to have to do more of this kind of stuff. And it's great seeing Moose and Mickey really representing Impact in and trying to sell the product as best they can, which is absolutely awesome. Of course, we then unfortunately had the announcement that the Inspiration was not going to be available for Hard to Kill or the tapings due to the virus we do not speak of, which is a real, which is a bit of a blow. I know a couple of people thought, well, actually, they weren't needed on the card. It was already good. Potentially, that was the worst, match on the card. A few people have said, but I don't believe so. I think the Inspiration are great. I love the storyline that's been brewing with these guys. So for me, it's a real shame. And of course, luckily, though, now that we're only going every couple of weeks for tapings, they're not going to be off TV for long, and that's the important thing now. And that was the trouble.
It's only 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, when they were going for 4 or 5 weeks worth of shows, and that would be a big blow because they'd be gone for a whole set of tapings at like say well over a month. Whereas now they're only going to be gone for 2 weeks, which is fantastic. So Yeah, real shame on that one. Real shame on that. But it's one of those things. Better to be safe than sorry. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Now, along with the departure of Rohit Raju, it's also been noted that Falaba has been removed from the roster page. Now, for me, this is a big blow because I think Fala's amazing. I think over the last sort of like 3 years or so that he's been on the roster, he's done an amazing job. He's done everything that's asked of him. The only thing that really didn't happen with him was a heel turn. And I really believe that we should have had a heel turn. I got to say, if we'd had a heel turn Fala, that would have been amazing. But at the end of the day, if we're bringing in new people, then we've got, some people are going to have to sort of kind of go by the wayside. So real shame. We're going to miss Fala, but hopefully maybe in the future he'll come back. He was probably on a pay-per-appearance sort of deal anyway. So there's no reason why they couldn't do something like that with him in the future. What are your thoughts on this, Joe?
I'm gutted. Fala has been there since Jeff Jarrett took over, as was Rohit Raju. So he's been there for a good 4 or 5 years.
It's got to be 4.5 years now.
Yeah, he's had his high moments, he's had his low moments, but he's always been one of these really big, really stable guys on the roster that you could guarantee will give you something, even if it's good or if it's bad. He'll give you something that's at least worth looking back and seeing how he's changed from past to present.
Yeah.
The stuff he did with KM and Scarlett Bordeaux was quite entertaining. The stuff he did with TJP was when we really thought he was going to get pushed into the tag division. And if TJP wasn't on a pay-per appearance contract, we might have seen Falaba and TJP really get a push in the tag division. But that's just the way the business goes, and I've got no grudges against anyone for Falaba not being there if he is indeed gone. It's just it just sucks. But we've got so many people coming into the roster now. Sadly, it's going to be the bad news is going to be forgotten, which is gladly. But sadly, we're going to be forgetting that Falaba was there.
What's interesting? Can I just say hello to Violet? She's apparently having beefalo for lunch today. So thank you for joining us during your lunch break, which is fantastic. And hello to Mark. It's nice to see you, bud. We haven't seen you for a few weeks. And of course, Zach's in the house as well. And Hakeem. Great to see Hakeem here. He's just come off of my lunch break. So, but he must have
lunch. Makes me hungry.
I know. Well, is everyone American in the chat today? For goodness' sake. But anyway, it's a great. Like I say, one thing we got used to with Impact over the years is that they do continually refresh their roster, right? So we know that people come in, people go out. That's kind of pretty much the way it works in Impact Wrestling. Like you say, it's a shame to see these people go because we have invested a bit of time in them. But like I've said before, were they moving the needle? Probably not. I know that we've had this conversation before with regards to does anybody move the needle anymore? I think CM Punk turning up on AEW proved that didn't make a lot of difference. To them. As much as their ratings are going up, they didn't dramatically go up when CM Punk turned up, did they? So I wonder whether he's going to be worth the investment. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
I can turn it on anytime, Pat. Come on, no problem.
Oh, no, that would definitely improve ratings if we were to re-sign Shark Boy. We definitely need to. That's the bottom line. We definitely need some of that going on. But there you go. In fact, it was great when we had Shark Bone. On the Christmas special, wasn't it? That was interesting. I wonder where Shark Bone is today. Wonder whether he might make an appearance. Who knows?
He's in the chat though.
Oh, is he really? Shark Bone's in the chat.
Yeah, he popped in a while ago.
Okay, it'd be nice to see him. So there's a lot going on. But it is a shame, but fingers crossed, some of the people coming in will be worth it. We've also, this is a great one. So we also had Kimberly and Brandy Loren basically roasting the dirt sheet on Twitter, claim the ones that were claiming that she was no longer with Impact. Interesting stuff because, again, just because they were zapped away or they're not necessarily at the current set of tapings doesn't mean that they're not on the roster. It just means they're not being used at the moment. And with a lot of these wrestlers, like you say, although they are sort of kind of signed, they're signed to a per appearance deal, so it don't necessarily have to come in to every set of tapings. So I'm guessing that with regards to the Sue Young thing that was building, with the fact that she's now got the demon in the oven, who knows where this is going to lead? Who knows where this is going to lead?
I think they just called an audible and sort of said, look, the plan we had, I think it's been put on hold because, obviously we can't go ahead with it right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So she'll be gone. Probably for...
I think Kimber sort of made the reporter.
Look at this dumbass.
Exactly. That's exactly what was said. And you're right. It's the Meltzer fake wrestling news, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, the bottom line is, these guys are still going to be around. They've not been taken off the page. So, they're there. They're there. You might just have to wait maybe until sort of, I don't know, I don't know how far gone she is. That's the trouble. So it's a bit difficult to say when she's going to come back.
February, March time, I think.
Okay, so maybe they'll be coming back around then. Maybe. Who knows?
Or Road Seat to Rebellion.
They certainly do. They certainly do. Yeah, definitely. Now, Courtney, what soundbite did you ask for, my sweet? You better put it up again, and then we'll put that one out for you. So it's been announced that Impact will be putting on a show during WrestleCon as well in Dallas in April. Was it the 1st or the 2nd around that time? I believe it's WrestleMania weekend. So, what are your thoughts on this, guys?
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
With the WrestleCon, the WrestleCon in Dallas show.
This is interesting. That they got four different companies all on the WrestleMania weekend, one after another. It's giving fans a hell of a lot of diversity to go and see. It's I was hoping that maybe we could get one or two of the companies to do something together, but that might be something down the line. But still, for a WrestleMania weekend, to get all four companies, Impact, Ring of Honor, I think AEW's there as well, and someone else, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm not sure if it's AEW or someone else. But still, all those four companies there to give you something different to watch or something else to watch alongside WrestleMania is just great for wrestling fans, especially if you're in the area. So it's just showing that Impact Wrestling is getting more involved with everything else outside again when they've been so restricted and so and they've just not been able to do it because of the pandemic. So this is just showing once again that they're taking bolder steps forward now. Things have been held back long enough. It's time to push forward a bit more.
Yeah, they're certainly proving they're on the road now, aren't they? Again, which is proved by the fact that Moose and Mickey James are obviously doing the media tours as well ahead of the Florida tapings, as we were discussing.
Hardcore country.
See, there you go, Courtney. I did it in for you. There you go, sorted.
Can you hear that? No? Let me turn it up for you.
There you go. That's one of my favorites. So that's pretty much the covering of the covering of the news of the rumors we got going on this week. I mean, I know there was a couple of others, but we really, really want to get into this Hard to Kill review. It's a fantastic show. So let's get started, guys. Hard to Kill match review and results, and let's start with the pre-show matches. So of course, when the pre-show kicked off, we were hit with Jake Something versus Madman Fulton. Now, this was a match that we didn't know was happening initially, but then they put that one out there, and boom, it was a great match, really good match, and nice to see Madman Fulton, especially getting to go out there without Ace Austin for me.
Yeah.
That was good. It was a great match. Loads of to and fro from both guys. Totally two big men slapping meat. That's what you've got. It was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Jake obviously ends up defeating Fulton in the end with the black hole slam. It was it was amazing. Really good match. A really great match to start the pre-show off. What were your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Yeah, like you said, it's great to see Fulton one-on-one and actually one-on-one without Ace out there supporting him. and in fairness, I mean, I'm not saying they should break up, but it didn't look like he needed him. You know, this for me was one of Fulton's best one-on singles matches that I think I've seen him in. You know, he really took the brass ring and really sort of said, look, you know, look at me here. You know, Jake, as always, puts on a 5-star match. But I was really impressed with Fulton in this match. You know, I'm glad because we were really unsure as to why Jake was taken off that 4-way match. And now I think we see why for this match. But yeah, hopefully this leads to something for both men.
Yeah, I hope so. It would be great to see, you know, Madman get his own sort of run, really. And again, same for Jake. What about you, Joe? What were your thoughts?
I love this match. Like Steve said, you know, Fulton put on the more standout performance because you didn't usually see him. You don't usually see him on his own. You don't usually see him wrestle longer than 4 or 5 minutes. And this match went on for a good 10 minutes or so. And it was just a really good opening match. That power bomb that Jake something did, it was incredible to see anyone lift a guy like Fulton up in the air and slam him so perfectly. You know, didn't fall backwards or fall forwards. He just proper pop-up power bomb straight down to the floor. It was awesome, and the finish was incredible too. D'Lo Brown even stealing some of my material, the little son of a bitch. So he says, did you not hear the commentary? He says he's picking up and sending him into the void. 1, 2, 3. It's like, oh, you fucker! I've got to change my character now.
No, not at all. It just means he's been listening to the show.
I hope so. He better recognise.
He better do. I reckon D'Lo listens. You know, we know that several Impact officials or Impact people sort of listen to our show, and they also obviously the review show as well on a Thursday. So, you know, who knows? Maybe D'Lo caught it one afternoon when he was, you know, just flicking through his podcast to listen to, and he caught you on there. You never know. You never
For reals.
Exactly, for reals.
Sky expectations.
Exactly. We then got a really cool promo from Chelsea Green in the Ultimate X and Matt Cardona in the World Championship match, which I thought was really good. You know, them saying, oh, we're going to be the next power couple and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a really cool promo. What do you think?
I love the promo. It was a great way to just set up both of the matches, and it was a great way to give a shout out to Chelsea and to Matt Cardona on their wedding on the new year. So it was just a really good promo. Matt Cardona especially shone through on this once again, hammering home that Impact Wrestling is somewhere where he's come to really prove everybody what he can do and show everyone what he can do.
Yeah, exactly.
It was one of the best promos from Matt Cardona I've seen for since he's come to Impact Wrestling.
Look at that. Is that true? Get him on here for a 50-minute interview. If I asked the USA team, it would be 2023. What are you saying, mate? What are you trying to say, Zach? Anyway, but yeah, so we then go into the X Division 4-way match. That was Ace Austin versus Laredo Kid versus Chris Bay, featuring obviously the debuting Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, for me, this was a great match, and all the competitors got in some great offense. But the shock for me was Ace actually eating the pin with the debut of Mike Bailey. It was a great match. Speedball looked great. What are your thoughts, Steve?
I'm with you to begin with. I was like, oh, you know, Ace eating the pin, especially after what they done on Impact, making him look so sort of strong. The only way for me they'll save this is if on Impact it leads into something between Ace and Speedball.
Okay, yeah, maybe it will, because obviously Ace is going to be pissed that he ate the pin, I guess.
That's the only way that this I feel can be saved.
Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts on this one then, Joe?
Oh, I can see the Ace Austin eating the pin, like Steve said, going into a storyline, even if it's not straight away. a week after or so, Ace Austin's going to have a chip on his shoulder after retiring, after making Johnny Swinger run for the hills. So it's obviously still the aftermath of that. But Mike Bailey, Jesus Christ, he was so impressive in that match. I have never seen him wrestle before, and I was left speechless after the match had ended. He was that finisher, the spinning roundhouse elbow or corkscrew kick into the turnbuckle, to then follow up with that diving whatever the hell that was. Like as Brown rightly put it,
I tell you what, I'm gonna tell you this now. He's a hybrid, obviously martial arts stroke wrestler. Okay, and if it wasn't for the fact he didn't have a beard, he reminds me of Steve Blackman.
Oh wow!
So.
Yeah, I'd love Steve Blackman. He was one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE.
I sort of said
the Lethal Weapon
mix of Amazing Red and Low Key.
Yeah,
I can see a lot of that too. When Steve,
definitely. But in terms of his kind of like martial arts type push, he's wearing the black trousers with the black belt on there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, very reminiscent. If he had a beard, he'd be very reminiscent of a old school Steve Blackman.
I would say, given what we saw in this match, I'd love to see him and Laredo Kid tag. That would be insane.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And again, who knows what we're going to see, in the weeks to come. Obviously, we've got some stuff to talk about with what's advertised for Impact tomorrow night, so we'll talk about that in a bit. But all said and done, I think it was a great match to sort of kind of end the pre-show, leading into the main show, and really give us our first taste of what to expect from Speedball Mike Bailey. So welcome to the Impact roster, just like that. So that was pretty cool.
Scott. Good job.
Definitely a good job signing that dude. Okay, so we then head into the main show, and we kick off the main show with the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match. We've got Chelsea Green versus Lady Frost versus Jordan Grace versus Alicia Edwards versus Tasha Steelz versus Rosemary. Now, for me, this was a great match, and all the ladies gave their all. There was I felt there was a few miscommunications in some of the setups, but overall, the ladies did an amazing job. Shout out to Lady Frost for the off the top of the tower moonsault. I've forgotten what she calls that now. It's some sort of cold thing. That's it, the temperature drop. Lish and Tasha, I think it was, or it might have been Chelsea Green actually, doing the double full body off the top turnbuckle. That was pretty impressive. There was also a great show of upper body strength from Jordan Grace when she held not only her weight, but also I think it was Tasha Steelz it was hanging on to her, or maybe Alicia Edwards.
Lady Frost is hanging on to her.
Frost, I think.
Oh, it was Lady Frost. So another thing involving Lady Frost, where that she was attempting to get to the X. It was an entertaining opening match of the night, I think. And of course, Tasha Steelz picking up the win to become the number one contender for the Knockouts title. And I have to say, boys, that let me have a look. The Ultimate X match, who have we got? All three of us had Tasha Steelz for the win on that one. So let's just put that in there. So forget we're vying for the bragging rights in the preview, guys. So we're going to see who's going to end up with the bragging rights at the end of this one. We really are. But I think that was a fantastic match. I loved it. Like I say, Lady Frost was great. All ladies were great. Lish was great. She deserved her chance to shine. I thought fantastic match. What about you guys?
Steve, you want to go first?
Yeah, this match, I think it lived up to expectations. For me, I think that Lady Frost showed glimpses here that she can in time be that top level babyface of the Knockouts division. I think she really knew how to work that crowd and get everyone behind her. And I mean, Grace, for me, Grace and Tasha took some insane bumps in this match that they weren't in control of it. Obviously, I think Frost, done some dives, but it's the dives and the bumps, I feel it's slightly different. Great to see Alicia get a big sort of pay-per-view spot. But the only downside for me was I felt they went for what I would call the the cheating tactics of having Havoc and Savannah running a little too early.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, you know, claps to the 5 ladies in this absolute brilliant.
Okay, and what about you, Joe?
This just shows that Impact Wrestling does listen to the roster. Jordan Grace and Tasha Steelz had pitched this match last year to Scott D'Amore, and he said he'd take it into consideration. And they've been waiting for a good 6 months for this match to come together. And this is what happens when you listen to your talent. Rosemary and Alicia Edwards were awesome in this match, and Lady Frost especially. But it was just so good to see something like history was made this night. And without repeating everything you guys have said, it was just a fantastic match. And we all expected Tasha Steelz to win, but it was still really, really, really uplifting and rewarding and surprising to see Tasha Steelz win, because it was like I just couldn't believe the match was over. Not because it had gone by too quickly. It was just like from start to finish, it was so intense. It was almost sad to see it end.
Yeah, no, I agree totally with that. I really do. It was a really, really good match, and you know, considering it was the very first time that these girls have done a match like this, I thought it was fantastic. Apart from, like I said, cut the misfires. It was really, really good. But you'd expect to see stuff like that, you know, especially in a first-time match. I hope we get to see more of these. You know, maybe it could become a speciality of Hard to Kill that we get a Knockouts Ultimate X match, number one contender match for every Hard to Kill, that kind of thing, you know.
Be good to see for occasion.
It would be good, because I think if you give it too often, then obviously it becomes less of a thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's great to see. And you're right, Gary. I think Rose. Exactly. So fantastic. We then moved on to the X Division Championship match. Now we got Trey Miguel versus Steve Macklin. Once again, a great match. There was some real hard hitting from Macklin, especially. And boy, this guy is damn impressive in the ring. Trey took all of what Macklin had to give, gave back some of his own. But, you know, overall, this was a great X Division matchup that could have gone either way. Trey almost took out Christine, member of the Impact Ringside Mafia. Just thought I'd give you a shout out there, Christine. During an incredible over-the-top rope move onto Macklin, with Trey eventually getting the much anticipated 1-2-3 over the unpinned Macklin to retain his X Division Championship. Now, you know, I thought this was a great match. What are your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Personally, I thought Macklin in this was absolutely hilarious. Some of his character work and his mannerisms, where he was mocking Trey and sort of playing to the audience, I thought he was fantastic in this match.
He actually showed a lot more personality in this match than he has done previously, I think.
Yeah, I thought he really stepped it up in this match character-wise. But that you really felt the personal anger from both men come across in this match. You know, it wasn't a case of we're just having a match and the match is the match, and the outside sort of person out, you know, the outside angle is the outside angle. It really came across in the match beautifully. And I'm proud that Impact have backed Trey for it, because they've built up Macklin for about sort of 6 months now, and to put Trey as the one to pin him, that's something special.
I agree. And that, you know, what it does do is it elevates Trey to the next level again.
Yeah.
Really gives him some credibility, which I really liked. Did you enjoy this one, Joe?
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing match. It was faultless, this match. The dive that Trey did outside the ring was incredible. Like Steve said, the way Steve Macklin's character work in this match, especially mocking the audience, was just brilliant. We got to see that extra dynamic from Steve Macklin. And the whole build up to the match as well. Everyone thinking, oh, it's another match between Macklin and Trey Miguel. We've seen it before. Yada yada yada. The the storyline that built up to it just showed, once again, backs Impact Wrestling's ability to keep stories fresh and character work fresh. And this whole match from end to end was really, really intense and really, really bitter and brutal. I was expecting Trey. I had Trey to win. It was just too soon to see Trey Miguel lose the title. But I even thought that it would come to Macklin being knocked out outside the ring, or Macklin having to submit rather than actually take the pinfall. So for him to take the pinfall is more salt in his wounds than submitting in this case, because Macklin was bragging that no one can pin me, no one can beat me at all. So to keep him down for that was just really, really fantastic.
Yeah. I just like a really, young boy to you. He ain't no young boy anymore, is he?
No.
You know. And that's right. What Mark's just put up there. If you put Mark's comment up there, he's put, "I'm so glad Trey retained. I was worried about the result. Trey will always be my guy because they tell Vinnie Mac to eat the bowl of dicks or something, eat a bowl of ducks, and come home." Yeah. So basically, he basically told Vinny, or whoever it was at the time, just to go fuck themselves. He's got more important things to be. He got other priorities in his life, which is fantastic. And he's come back to Impact Wrestling, and he's been the best Trey Miguel that we have seen to date. The Rascals were good; they were fun. But this Trey Miguel is a more serious and more badass Trey Miguel, and I think
definitely
this is what we needed for Trey Miguel. And
even his promos are coming off a lot more, like he's got more within him.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's great. But everyone's wishing Anna happy birthday, wasn't that? I think I've already done that. Wasn't that a couple of days ago? Possibly. I'm not sure. But Violet, happy birthday, sweetheart. I'm sure I did it already, but happy birthday to you. So there's lots of stuff coming out of this one, and thank you, Courtney, for another $1.49. We appreciate it. Keep the money, keep your money, sweetie. Keep your money. The $50 is enough for now. We'll just leave it there. We do appreciate ourselves tested after this. We do appreciate it, but at the end of the day, keep go out there and buy yourself a nice dress or something. I don't know. Nice new bag, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. But we do appreciate it. Thank you very much. We then had the Ring of Honor World Championship match. John Gresham versus Chris Sabin. Now, Ring of Honor's Ian Riccoboni and Bobby Cruz joined the broadcast team and everything else. That was really good. I think Bobby announced the match. This match was contested under pure rules. And boy, this match was top notch from start to finish. Both men showing why they are both classed as two of the best pure wrestlers in the world.
I love this match!
I have to say, this was one of the best matches of the night. If you're a pure wrestling fan, this is amazing. And then, of course, in the end, the Ring of Honor World Champion was just too strong for Sabin, and he walks away into Terminus, I might add, this weekend as Ring of Honor Champion, and he faces the one and only Josh Alexander, who hasn't lost a match in quite some time. So we need to. This is going to be interesting if he lose, because if he loses at Terminus, where does he go from there? Or is he going to be the next Ring of Honor World Champion? You never know. You never know. But maybe Josh is the sort of person that Jonathan Gresham might want to lose it to, knowing how good and how over he is at the moment. I mean, let's face the facts. Josh is now number 7 in the world of top 10 wrestlers. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly where that one ends up. I know that you were a big fan of this match, Steve. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, for me, this was my match of the night. It was pure technical wrestling at its very best. I will say that I thought I've seen highlights of Jonathan Gresham, but I've never actually seen a full match, I'll admit. And I thought Gresham's entrance to start with was amazing. He carried himself like a champion, which is the main thing when you're a champion. And yeah, the match itself, you could just sit back and watch it all night. They could have gone for another half an hour, and I could have been flat out happy to watch that. I will say as well, I think Impact could learn a few bits from that, because I know some people weren't 100% like in on the pure rules thing, but I think Impact could learn a few bits from that and sort of take snippets of that for the Digital Media Championship.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe that would make the Digital Championship a little bit different. I guess by adding a couple of rules in there that you have to abide by. Can I just say a quick thank you to Violet for her little donation there, a little super sticker. Really, really appreciate that. And we'll speak to you soon, as she's I think she's just left. So hope you get to see the rest of the show at another time. But yeah, I mean, I think it's there is a possibility you could. I mean, the rope break thing, or is interesting.
Just something little to make it unique, and that's what this match had. Like, I know it's going to be, it's going to split fans. Some fans loved it, and because it's different. Other fans think, oh, this is different. I can't get used to it. I don't like it. But either way, when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's pure technical wrestling, and that is what both these men are fantastic at.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jonathan Gresham could just get out of anything. Yeah,
and I did like the commentary. They actually delved into why Saban got this shot, because it was 8 years ago when he beat Jay Lethal or something, tied with Jay Lethal or something. So they actually gave history as to why this match was happening, which I could, because to begin with, I thought it was just a match, but it wasn't. Yeah, exactly. And can I just clear something up, Hakeem? The pure rules thing is because that's how Jonathan Gresham wants to basically, have his matches with regards to this Ring of Honor World Championship. He wants to have every match under the pure rules, which is kind of weird though, because the Ring of Honor also have the Pure Rules Championship, don't they, or something? So I don't know what happens to the Pure Championship. I don't know, but there you go. But either way, I think this was a fantastic match, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing Jonathan Gresham versus Josh Alexander on Terminus this weekend coming, I believe. Anyway, moving on from that, we then get into the grudge match, which was Jonah versus my favorite and yours, Josh Alexander. This was obviously a very, very hard-hitting match. Josh was, showing why he is the face of Impact Wrestling right now. Both Jonah and Josh took this match all the way to the limits. There was some incredible stuff going on, some real hard-hitting. Jonah is good. I didn't realize how good he actually was, but he's very good. Incredible. Josh Alexander coming out with a victory over Jonah by making him submit to the ankle lock. Now, I'm going to say this match was way better than I was expecting it to be, because I've not really seen much of Jonah prior to what I've seen recently. So I didn't really know what to expect of the match. What I did see was two guys going full on. And I love the way that the story was being told with regards to the damaged ribs. Obviously, Jonah was trying to go for that. Then you had Josh Alexander sort of kind of pounding the ankle, getting it all ready for the ankle lock to eventually obviously get the tap out. What were your thoughts on this match, Joe? I'm going to go with Joe.
Oh God, I love this match. Josh Alexander doesn't disappoint. We all know that from like day one. Like you, I've never seen Jonah prior to Impact Wrestling, and this match was one of the best matches of the night, and it's definitely match of the year candidate for sure. The storytelling in this match, you could really, really feel that pure hatred they've been building up in between the two of them since Bound for Glory, after Bound for Glory, when Jonah had attacked Josh Alexander. And the amount of punishment both of them took was insane, especially Josh Alexander with his injured ribs, taking on the Canadian backbreaker off of Jonah, bending him right over his shoulder. It was just insane to see that happening, and to still be able to then lift him up and snap powerbomb him, and then go for the finisher, and it was just a testament to Josh Alexander's ability in the ring. We saw everything from him. We saw him fly. We saw him get the crap beaten out of him. We saw him manage to lift up probably one of the heaviest guys that's ever stepped into Impact Wrestling, and go for well over 20 minutes and prove why he is indeed the face of the company. It was just so good to see both of these guys. Yeah,
I agree. What did you think of this one, Steve?
I missed the start of the first half of this match because the issues they had with the sound, I thought it was on my end, so I was fiddling around trying to sort of sort it out. So yeah, I missed the sort of first half of the match, but this was basically the definition of the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
You basically had two wolves going at each other, and I was kind of questioning, like, halfway through it, what is it going to take to finish this match? And in a way, it was basically Jonah beating himself to a degree, wasn't it? You know,
it certainly was.
Yeah. So I kind of don't think this is over.
Oh, it's not over for a long shot. No,
I don't think it's over.
Jonah's not going to let this slide.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. Both men left everything out. I mean, you saw, Josh being victorious, but, he left the ring battered and bruised. There's no, Jonah certainly left his mark on him.
That final moonsault as well, that was just wow. Yeah. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Imagine if he'd actually landed on somebody with that flipping heck. Yeah. They'd be going to hospital, mate. They'd be going to hospital. Yeah, squish, absolute beast. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I think there is more. I definitely think there's more. I don't think Jonah's going to be happy with that. So we'll have to wait and see. And just a little note, Jonah has been added to the Impact roster page. So there's obviously more. There's definitely more to come. We then move on into the hardcore war match. Obviously, Rich Swann, Willie Mack, Heath, Rhino, and Eddie Edwards versus VVD and the Good Brothers. Now, we started the match with Diener and Rich Swann each bring their weapons to the ring. And boy, this match started off hot and hard. Exactly. Shame that Anna's left, mate. But the boy, it was a hard hitting match. And every 3 minutes, we got alternate competitors. And boy, this match was just insanely fun to watch with some great spots on both teams, including Rich Swann ended up entangled in a barbed wire board, which was huge, by the way. It wasn't a small board. It was twice the size of the boards we've had before.
That son of a bitch.
Exactly. Barbed wire board. And to be fair, the match was eventually won after Anderson gets hit by a Dallas Cowboys helmet. Nice touch. And of course, a gore by the incredible Rhino. Gore! Loved it. Which was pretty awesome.
We need a gore soundbite.
We need a gore soundbite. We do. Although I'm quite good at it, to be fair. But anyway. It was pretty. It was a pretty intense match. Let's talk about the match before we go into the shenanigans. But I think the match overall, this was one of my favorite matches of the night. What about you guys?
Oh, one of my favorites as well. And there's so much to talk about. I don't want to bore everyone to death. Some of the big highlights to me was seeing the shout out to Team 3D by Rich Swann and Willie Mack to start off with. That was really, really entertaining. And Eddie Edwards setting Kenny on fire. That I was like, Eddie, you can't do that. Kenny's your boy, and he gets you after killing the original Kenny, gets another one, sets this one on fire. And I'm like, fucking hell, what the hell's going on? This match was just.
I have to say though, he only set the tip alight. I wish they'd set the whole thing alight. That would have been awesome.
This match was awesome. It was organized chaos at its best, and that was just the match itself. And I'll go on to Steve before we go on to the aftermath.
Go on, Steve. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with Joe on a lot of that, and like I say, a few other bits that I wrote down was I thought in the initial 1-on-1, and even like when it got to 2-on-2, I thought that Dina was incredibly impressive. You know, I really want to see more of him in a dominant role, because he does seem to sadly be the whipping post of VBD. And obviously you knew that wasn't going to happen until all sort of 10 men got in the ring. And I thought he really looked good in that initial kind of sort of role. That pile driver spot from EY on Eddie outside the ring was really nasty. And it really does now look like they are sort of setting up, Heath and Rhino, doesn't it, for that tag team shot?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you're right. They're really pushing them big time. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, of course, while Team Edwards, Rhino, Heath, Swan, and Mac were celebrating their victory, Mike Bennett, Vincent, Matt Tavern, PCO hit the ring from the crowd and attacked them from behind, beating the team down and claiming they were here. We're here. And then obviously Maria Kanellis comes along. Maria Kanellis Bennett comes along to join them in the ring. We then get this backstage segment with Gia Miller catching Scott backstage, asking him if he knew what just happened, and he claimed he had no idea and what was going on. He was going to get to the bottom of it. I thought it was well done. I wasn't expecting it at this point, as much as I was expecting to see Matt Tavern and the Bennetts. I was thinking they were going to be around for the World Championship match to help Moose out, which we already discussed. It was great to see them, especially with PCO and Vincent as well. That was an added bonus. What were your thoughts on all of this?
I was really, really shocked. I thought I knew that Mike and Maria had signed with Impact Wrestling, and they were rumored to come in on Germany. But I said earlier last week that I want to see confirmation from Michael Maria or from Impact Wrestling before this even comes. Otherwise, I just thought, no, this isn't going to happen. This is just rumors. So when it happened, my God, it did. I was like, oh my God, this really is happening here and now, and all this. Oh. It was just so good to see Mike Bennett come back into Impact Wrestling after the impression he left, and it's so good to see Maria as well. As much as everyone hated her, that's just how good she was. She got everyone to hate her so much, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they can do now and what they're going to do. And I think that we might even see the Bullet Club versus all four of these possibly for bragging rights, or this could.
Well, you got VBD, you got Bullet Club, we've got Decay that can take them on.
Even Rhino have already issued a challenge.
Yeah.
Heath Rhino, with the help of Willie Mack and Rich Swan.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff.
I would even like to see Mike Bennett versus Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, that's true. And I like that. Yeah, you're right there as well. When I saw Vincent, I was like, how the hell security let this granddad hop the guardrail? You know what? I love Vincent. I think Vincent's amazing. He reminds me of Rob Zombie.
Yes.
I know they call him the Horror King, don't they, or something? So I like him. I think he's a great wrestler, and he definitely has that Rob Zombie vibes about him. And have you ever seen the movie The Devil's Rejects?
Oh yes.
He sort of kind of looks like one of the characters, one of the kids of the psycho clown dude. He looks like one of those. He looks like a character from that. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of these guys. I want to see Tavern and Bennett going for tag gold. I think that would be amazing. They're a great tag team.
Interesting one.
Great tag team. And then of course you got PCO as well, and who's just amazing.
He was long gone before ROH even shut, wasn't he? So that's the interesting bit.
Exactly. So we got some interesting times ahead on where this one's going. I mean, Scott is definitely heading to find out what the hell is going on here. He's probably going to get straight over to Ian and and whoever else was there, Jonathan Gresham. What the hell's going on with these boys?
Bull crap.
It's bull crap, exactly. And I do think that we're going to need, the likes of Sammy coming back in to sort these Ring of Honor boys out, if you ask me. But there you go.
Oh, Sammy was really vocal about it on Twitter, I can tell you guys.
I bet he was. We then move on to the World Championship 3-way title match. Again, it was a no DQ match. We've got Moose versus Morrissey versus Cardona. Now, just to clarify, earlier on in the night, it was also confirmed that the main event was going to be the Knockouts title match, which is, again, like a massive... I don't know if it's a first, but it's certainly not done very often when you have a female main event at a pay-per-view.
No, but it was the right call, I think.
Yeah, so do I. It was a great call, fantastic call, especially when you consider that, at the end of the day, hardcore countries in her own state, So it's
and it was built up since Slammiversary.
Yeah, exactly. It's been built that way. That was a massive build. It was the right thing to do. I think it was brilliant, and it's again Impact Wrestling being ahead of the curve on things that they're doing, and everybody else are going to follow. You see. So, hang on, let me just think of something. I'm just reading what Zach was saying. Yeah, they were, weren't they? They were fighting in a cage, but there you go. So this match really did not disappoint. Again, was hard hitting from the start, with the match being a no GQ. We also got to see Chelsea turn up to try and give Matt some kind of advantage, but to no avail. As all three men gave everything they had. Morrissey even had Moose beat, but the ref had been incapacitated or indirectly taken out by Moose just before Morrissey hits him with a powerbomb to roll him up. I think we get to like an 8 count or something crazy.
Yeah, it was down to 8 before Morrissey got up, and it was
it was mental. Now, eventually, Moose actually hits the spear on Cardona. Moose gets the 1-2-3 to retain the world title. Now, again, I think just checking out what we've got written down here, I think all three of us went with Moose to win. So let me just put that one in there. I think all three of us went with Moose to win. Steve's not doing too well at the moment, but we all went for the Moose win, so that's going on the bragging rights. We're getting there. It was, it was a good match. There was some great stuff. I think, again, Morrissey and Cardona especially proved to the world that they are main eventers. We all know Moose is a main eventer, regardless of whether he's been on WWE. Was that because I was stumbling there? You thought you put that one in? No, anyway. We all know that Moose is a main eventer, and he's proven it now time and time again. And now we've got Morrissey and the Cardona proving they're main eventers as well. This match was fantastic. It had me totally into it from start to finish. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe? What are your thoughts on this, Sammy?
Oh God, what do you think, Sammy? Bite my nose. This match, it didn't disappoint. W. Morrissey especially really proved to everyone that he is going to be one of the next big things in Impact Wrestling. His ambition now is to be the face of the company, whether people like it or not. He's at his next goal. And Matt Cardona, God, the amount of bumps and stuff he took in this match, it was just incredible. He's proven that he's way beyond being the joke he was left to be in WWE. The stuff he's done at GCW, the stuff he's done at Impact Wrestling, it just shows that he's someone that you really can't sleep on anymore. He's in a year, he has turned his entire career around for the better. Moose, kudos to Moose. That was some of the punishment he took off of Morrissey was insane. He got choke slammed, he got that power bomb, and most people wouldn't. You would expect Moose to either have to really cheat to win or get a cheap victory, but no, he won this match as cleanly as you can do in a triple threat match, and he just showed that throughout the match. He's willing to take as much punishment as everybody else. It was really, it's just even like Mark said, but all three deserved to win. It was just great that the Moose won.
Incredible match. I don't think Moose was going to lose. I think it would have been way too early for Moose to lose. But like you say, all three of them could have won, and nobody could have complained.
Yeah, no, he was just going to hit there.
Period.
Exactly. What were your thoughts on this one, Steve?
No, I think you both summed it up. All three men put in a hell of a shift here. Cardona, I think we knew going into this was going to be sadly the whipping boy of the match. Although Moose took that horrible table spot, on the outside, which I will say led to probably the best moment in the match, where Morrissey got hold of the fake leg and started beating Cardona with the.
Where did that come from? I missed that. Where did the fake leg come from?
I think from what Bill said, that there was someone in the audience who was just trying to get it in, throughout the entire show, and then finally managed to get it in the main event. But yeah. I don't think obviously it wasn't planned, but Morrissey thought, well, I got it, I'll use it.
you just threw it onto the floor, and you could see the security hand trying to sneak it out back to without the camera sticking it up.
D'Lo saying, oh, it's now going back over my head into the audience.
Yeah, that was mental. And again, it was all these things added in. I love the fact they mentioned it on the commentary and everything. They made a big thing. Whoever put that in there is going to be loving life right now.
Any man who won, and that's the beauty of how they booked this. Whoever won, there'd have been no complaints.
No, exactly.
The only complaint would have been when you sort of maybe sat back and thought, that was a short reign for Moose. That would have been the only complaint.
Yeah. And I think what for me the main thing is that people that were mid Cardona is not mid Cardona. He's a main eventer, as is Morrissey's. They're 100% main event guys, and they proved on this pay-per-view that they are main event guys. And moving forward, I think they're only going to get bigger and bigger. And Impact seriously needs to put pen to paper with these guys for a proper full-time contracts.
This is the good stuff.
That's my thoughts on that one anyway. Okay, so moving on. We then obviously move into the main event. We got the Knockouts Championship main event in Hard to Kill, Texas Death Match, which is interesting. Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Both came out looking badass, I have to say. I really like the chaps things going on with Mickie James is great. They were both coming out really to make this main event the show stealer. They knew what they had to do. They were given the opportunity to shine, and they knew what they had to do. Both ladies, I thought, brought their A game. And although we saw a few timing issues here and there with some of the spots that were going on, all this match was pretty damn good at the end of the day. The WWE Royal Rumble was mentioned a few times before and during the match. Also, we got a glimpse of the Ring of Honor champion Roxy. Was also seen in the front row watching. I'm sure she wasn't there for the entire show, but there you go. We saw Mickie gain the first pinfall on Deonna, and we also saw Deonna make Mickie tap out to the Venus de Milo. But of course, the match doesn't come to the end until after the 10 count. We even saw thumbtacks introduced, and Deonna sending Mickie into them before choking her out on her own ring gear, which was interesting, to gain a submission. Ray Bolt appears, but Mickie soon deals with him, hitting him with a hardcore country guitar, which I thought was great. Mickie then hits the DDT on Deonna into the thumbtacks and gets the 3 count, holds her down for the 10 count to retain the Impact World Knockouts Championship, with her now leading into the Royal Rumble. Now, for me, I'm going to say this now before I ask you guys, for me, This is the best pay-per-view of the Anthem era. I loved every second of it. What do you guys think?
I haven't seen fighting like that from a woman since I left my ex-wife for her sister.
Oh, love it. Go on. Your thoughts.
This was definitely the best pay-per-view since Slammiversary 2018. And probably Slammiversary 2020. What? Slammiversary 2021. This was amazing. This pay-per-view was just set up perfectly from start to finish, and like you said, and the Texas Death matches, and there was a lot of no DQ matches in this, but each one was unique, which made everything so much more smoother and so much better and much more interesting, rather than it just being another hardcore match. Oh, we know it's another hardcore match. Every match had a different format to it. Even the hardcore gauntlet, it was different. It wasn't a 5-on-5 all at once. It was like progressive, introducing people. Everything, and the main event was match of the night for me. And I was expecting Jonah and Josh Alexander to be the biggest like wow match for me. I love that match, but this match with Mickie James and Deonna Purrazzo overall was match of the night for me. And kudos to Deonna Purrazzo for everything she did in this match, because after Mickie James was announced for the Royal Rumble, my prediction for Deonna Purrazzo was sadly null and void, because we all knew.
Yeah,
Mickie
I think
James
mine was too. We all went for Deonna for this one.
I am the greatest.
She still is the fucking greatest.
Exactly.
Especially as Hakeem states about her going for Miss Hardcore Countries. That the groin claw from Deonna Purrazzo. That was like whoa. No. But this was fantastic match. The whole full credit to Impact Wrestling and full credit to the entire roster for this. This was just amazing. That's brilliant, Mia. That's the best thing you've ever said in the chat. Mickey had flashbacks to WrestleMania 22 when she grabbed Trish's Stratus. Classic, Mia. Thank you, buddy. I've never even thought about that, but yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Bloody hell. So there's some interesting stuff that came out of all of this, and the main thing was that I just felt it was, apart from a couple of technical issues in the Jonah Alexander match, generally it was fairly smooth.
Yeah.
All the way through. I thought, the promos were good, the backstage stuff was good. Everything made sense.
I think the fact that we had less match, because normally we have like 9-10 matches. The fact we had less matches meant we got more promo time, and I think I prefer that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think it ended a little early, didn't it? Which it would have done, because obviously there was one less match.
Yeah, but they had the plan to get all the matches to ground at the right time. It's just one match short. It didn't make the event feel as long as it would do, with obviously because of the less time being there. But it worked, and it probably would have worked just as well with the Knockouts tag team match in as well. If that was the second match on the card after the Ultimate X match, it would have worked just as well.
Yeah, possibly. And I got to agree, Mark. I got to agree with you. This show was as close to perfect as you could possibly get.
You'll never get it 100% perfect, but
but it was damn good show. It was a damn good show.
Proud as a peacock.
Yeah, they should all be so proud of themselves. I know that there was someone, I think it was Christine actually, videoed Scott D'Amore and Gail Kim coming out at the end after the main event and praising everybody and praising them. Yeah, amazing. And I'm just absolutely hyped now. I'm absolutely hyped on what we're going to get moving forward. I'm really excited. I think people not watching Impact Wrestling at the moment are completely missing out. They need to get their fingers out of their asses and start watching the best wrestling show on TV right now. I'm so excited about what we're going to get over the coming weeks. I really am. On that road to rebellion, of course. So yeah, looking forward to that. So also last night, we had the digital media match of Savannah Evans versus Havoc of Decay. Havoc eventually defeats Evans. I have to say, this is not the best match I've seen for a while. I have to say, a little bit disappointed in this one in terms of I just felt it was very flat. And not because we just come off a pay-per-view, but I just didn't feel it was a particularly good match. It didn't seem to flow. They didn't seem to gel too well together. But I don't know. Have you seen this match, guys?
No, I've not, but I was going to check it out tonight. But,
I mean, check it out by all means, and you'll probably see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Have you seen it, Steve?
I think it's like what we often say about like big man matches, and it's just like big knockout matches. It feels like they're too similar sometimes, and I think as well. I mean, I don't know too much, but to me, Savannah feels like someone who needs to work a little bit with someone who's got experience, and I know Havoc is experienced, but I think she's experienced and very similar. Whereas maybe in someone like a Rosemary, she's experienced, but in a different way.
I'm sorry, it was just a poor match. I was a bit disappointed in it, and to be honest with you, if I probably would have not put it out. Honestly, it wasn't a good match.
I think they really need to have a refresh on what they want to do with the digital media sort of stuff, because
I think it was just an extra match. They decided to do was just give you an extra match.
Nothing we've seen with this digital media sort of content has led towards the digital media championship.
No, not since Jordan won it. No.
So
everything after that has just been sort of kind of random.
Think about what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah. And Mark, I agree. It is one of the worst matches I've seen in a long time. It really was a waste of 5 minutes of my day.
And 5 minutes.
and I hate to say that because I am a big Havoc fan. Savannah Evans is still I'm on the fence with, but I'm going to say that Savannah made Havoc look bad. There you go. But then let's just move on to more interesting stuff. So tomorrow we've got the BTI match has been announced. Interestingly, everyone was saying that BTI was going to be canned. I don't know where that all came from. But obviously BTI is still going on because we've got a match announced for it, which is Black Taurus versus Matthew Raywell. Now, I saw some great pictures of Black Taurus and Laredo Kid on the socials with them wearing these fantastic red Impact tracksuits, which I thought was pretty cool. Obviously, everyone's been given a cool tracksuit to wear, which was really good. And they were sort of looked like they were very proud to be wearing it as well, representing the Impact brand, which is great. I'm looking forward to this. I'm a massive Black Taurus fan. I think, and over the last few sort of kind of weeks, we've seen a couple of pretty good Matt Raywell matches as well. Matt is a good wrestler. And Black Taurus is an amazing wrestler. So I'm expecting this to be a good match. Yeah. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
Oh, definitely. I have to agree with you fully there. Black Taurus has been one of the most interesting superstars on the roster since he's come in. And Matthew Raywell is an incredible wrestler. So to see these two contrasting styles go head to head is going to be really, really interesting.
I think Matt would be great for a Ring of Honor Pure Rules match.
He would be perfect. He'd be
because he is very technical. He's a very good technical wrestler. Yeah. What about you? I mean, what are your thoughts on this one, Steve? Are you looking forward to it?
Oh, definitely. And I think that both men, deserve at the moment more than they've had recently. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens with Matthew Raywell going forward, because it did look like after Hard to Kill, there could have been a slight sort of face turn from Deonna. They her and Mickey did sort of embrace that it's going to be interesting that. But so I don't know if that was just an after the pay-per-view, okay, we're off camera, or if it was a case of, okay.
I think it was that. I think it was a case of, you know what, fuck me, we've just had an amazing match. Like, thank you so much for being a part of that.
It did happen off air. It did, you find it on Twitter, on the Impact YouTube, on Impact YouTube, but you wouldn't find it. It wasn't broadcast live.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen things previously before, haven't we? But no, I do think that both men, like Torres, need, you know, we need to see him and Steve back in the tag team division.
Definitely.
And we need to see Matthew Ray Walt sort of elevate. I think he would be perfect for the Digital Media Championship.
I think your Digital Media Champion has to be someone that's very prevalent on digital media. That's why someone like Jordan's got it, because she's quite vocal. When it comes to social media, you've got your Jordan Grace. Chelsea would probably be quite good. As would Matt,
should have it then. I think.
As would Matt Cardona.
I mean, Jake. As far as I'm aware, Jake is still the #1 contender, isn't he? And he's still not had a shot.
Yeah.
So I should imagine that's going to be coming up possibly at the next. Is it No Surrender? I think No Surrender is the next special, isn't it? So that could happen there before you know. Nice to see Armin in the chat there. We haven't seen him for a while. I think he's on a pay per appearance, so he can he can go over to MLW or wherever he wants. But I think primarily he's on Impact TV.
I think most Impact wrestlers are kind of like that. You know, you work for us mainly, but you can go wherever you like. Yeah,
because they got to earn money. At the end of the day, you know, they're not paying them enough money to go exclusive. That's the bottom line. You know, I'm sure at some point they're going to get a core exclusive set of wrestlers. I mean, not even Eddie Edwards is exclusive. However, I believe there are certain wrestlers. I believe there are certain wrestlers on the Impact roster that you have to book through Impact.
Yeah,
I believe. So that's an interesting one as well. That's part of the contracts. But we then go into Impact Wrestling tomorrow night. We got the fallout from Hard to Kill. Now, at the moment, I don't know if you can have a quick check, one of you. But I believe we've only actually got 2 matches advertised. So we normally get at least 4. So I would imagine if they've not advertised any more yet, we might get one advertised tomorrow morning, and we may get. But I'm sure we normally get a surprise as well. But what we have got advertised is obviously Speedball Mike Bailey versus Jake something. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting match because talking about kind of Ace Austin being pissed off at the one being pinned in the match yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I would not want to see Mike lose, and I don't want to see Jake lose. So I wonder whether we can end up with this one being a DQ. With Ace Austin and Fulton getting involved, with Mike Bailey or something. So we end up with that feud that we were talking about.
Could lead to a tag match.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of potential with that one. We've also got the winner takes all match advertised with Deanna versus Roxy. Again, I know that the result on this one's been leaked. I'm not going to say just in case people haven't seen that. But again, I think this is going to be a great match. I know that these two have actually faced each other previously, I believe, for the Knockouts title at some point. So it will be interesting to see this match happen and whether we end up getting Deanna taking that belt, the Ring of Honor Championship.
4-time knocked up champ.
Oh, yeah. Bam! And of course, it'd be interesting.
Bam!
There you go. It'd be interesting to see what happens with this based on, obviously, Roxy. You know, is she? I mean, I know she's been advertised to be in a match on MLW next week as well, I believe, or appearing at their set of tapings. But of course, we also know that recently she was at the Performance Center of the WWE. So what is this girl going to be doing? What is this girl going to do? We'll have to wait and see. What are your thoughts on this match, guys?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've not seen any spoilers, and thankfully, and I've not seen a lot of Roxy either. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing what happens. And especially with Jonah Perez. I want to see how banged up she still is after that match she had with Mickie James. She must still have a few cuts and bruises somewhere. It's going to be interesting to look for all the cuts on her head, especially from the attacks. And but Jonah Perez is a fantastic wrestler, and Roxy's got a really good reputation. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, definitely. I miss Lakers as well, Courtney. I do. He's a great guy. I don't know where he is. He obviously maybe he's working or a little bit busy at the minute, but hopefully he catches us on the replay. But we do love Lakers. We do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think either way, I think this is going to be an interesting, fallout from Hard to Kill. We're going to get a lot. I think it's probably going to be promo heavy. We're going to be setting up feuds.
I think if Roxy wins, then it says she's not going to WWE.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well, you say that, but I mean, she still could be going anywhere, couldn't she?
Oh yeah, she might not be. Yeah, she could be going anywhere, but I don't see her going to WWE as the Ring of Honor and Reina de Reyes champion.
No, of course not. No, of course not. I hope she signs with Impact. I really do. I think she would benefit more by signing with a company like, because we would stick a rocket to her back, and
it would be very interesting if Deonna did lose, because that would be losing twice in a row. So that could be a very interesting story.
Yeah, I could see her start to crack. We could see her probably break away from Matthew Raywald as well
on a losing streak.
Yeah.
Okay? The fake Jersey girl on the losing streak.
Yeah, Tasha's still saying that. So obviously planting some seeds.
Of course she is. Of course she is. I mean, Tasha's going to be all over that. She's gunning for Deonna, yet her title match at the moment is looking to be with Mickie James. But there we go. So there's a lot to be looking forward to over the next few days, and of course we've got Terminus heading into the weekend. So if you're interested in that, I've already got it set for on Fight TV. I've got that one booked in. I probably won't watch it live. Got a lot going on this weekend, but I will certainly be checking it out at some point next week. Looking forward to that one. Now, that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. It's been, like I say, it's been a fantastic review. I've really enjoyed watching Hard to Kill, reviewing it, previewing it. The only thing left to talk about is who ends up with the bragging rights on the predictions from the preview show. Now, in third place, with 4 correct match results, is the man simply known as Steve. In second place, with 5 correct results, is the man known as the Joker. And in first place, with the full bragging rights, with 6 correct match results, the Bison. Turn that frown upside down, boys.
Cocktail hour, brother.
Cocktail hour, brother. The Bison wins again. The Bison wins again. He's hard to kill. He's fucking hard to kill, baby. But there you go. So bragging rights go to the Bison. But anyway, all that said, please don't forget to head over to the TNI. Hang on, I forgot TNI Patreon for exclusive event content when you sign up. And also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI Flagship Impact Live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and, of course, YouTube. There you go. The information there to join Patreon was just on the screen. Also, all TNI shows are available for all of you listen on the go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. You will find us there. Exactly. Good for you, Bison. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can jump onto Twitter and look for @Joe-ker empty space, or hop along to Facebook, look for #empty-space, #the void, or if you want to test your sense of humor, #daily-giggle, and jump onto there with an open perspective, and you just might keep your sanity.
Exactly. Take care, Mark. What about yourself, Steve? Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me over on Twitter at simplysteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related, or you can head over to WrestleBuddy under the Impact Wrestling header for a new article every Thursday. I'm back on it again now.
Good man, good man. And if you're interested in finding out a bit more about the Bison or some of the stuff, I mean, I'm pretty much on it pretty much every day with regards to Impact news, Impact stuff. Also doing a few interviews here and there. Got a few lined up, so keep your eye out for those. But you can find me on Twitter at Lord Bison45. I am getting closer and closer to 1,500 follows. Please help me get there, guys. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Also, guys, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, don't forget to click subscribe. And don't forget to give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, or even a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams' great content each and every single week. Don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to the Spreadshirt store or ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for all your great t-shirts. We got some good stuff on there at the moment. With all that said, I've been Bison. They have been the Joker, and of course, Simply Steve. This has been episode 64 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
We're Bison! We are